Good morning. Today, we will look into the topic recent cavity modifications for amalgam restoration. For decades, dentistry followed the philosophy of extension for prevention. This meant that the cavity preparations were often extended unnecessarily, sacrificing the healthy tooth structure. But today, with the advancements in the material and a deeper understanding of the caries, the focus has shifted to the minimal intervention dentistry. The modern goal is clear: preserve as much as the natural tooth as possible while ensuring the restoration is strong and long lasting. So, when exactly do we choose amalgam restorations today? They are still indicated in cases of high occlusal load, poor moisture control, or when managing a large class 1 and class 2 cavities. And they are contraindicated in case of an aesthetically sensitive area or for very small lesions that can be managed conservatively with a composite or a JIC. So let's break down some of the newer cavity preparation approaches. First, we will look on the class 1 occlusal cavities where we no longer now extend into every fissure. The outline is dictated by the caries alone with a minimal occlusal width and a rounded internal angles to reduce the stress. Next, we will look into the proximal lesions where only a box one strategy is followed. Here, instead of removing the entire marginal ridge, access is gained through a small slot, preserving as much as tooth structure as possible. We also have a slot preparation for class 2 lesions without involving the occlusal aspect and tunnel preparation which allow us to approach the proximal lesion while conserving the marginal ridge. Of course, the tunnel preparations requires a careful case selection as thin ridges are prone to fracture. Another important update is cuspal coverage. When more than two-thirds of a cuspal incline is undermined, covering the cusp will ensure the strength of the restoration, especially on the functional cusp in patients with a heavy occlusion or patients with bruxism. Moving on to the retention, it has also evolved. In conservative design, a slight occlusal convergence is often enough. Additional features like locks, slots, or amalgam pins are reserved for cases with short walls or inadequate axial height. So let's not forget about the selective caries removal. Instead of chasing every stain, the priority is sealing the periphery with sound enamel and dentin while leaving a firm dentin near the pulp to maintain its vitality. Pulp protection has also become more refined. A thin resin-modified GIC liner is preferred in deep areas while the thicker bases can often weaken the amalgams if or avoided. Calcium hydroxide is reserved for the pinpoint exposure. Coming to the bonded amalgam techniques which have been explored lately, but these remain technique sensitive, costly, and long-term evidences of success are not present. Experiments have shown that no sustained effects of amalgam bonding is seen and hydrolytic stability of the bond is questionable over a prolonged time period. It has also increased the cost of amalgam restoration. So the common failures which are seen with the conservative designs are the open contacts of food impaction due to poor matricing, and in case of a tunnel preparation there is a marginal ridge fracture susceptible cases, and there are also possibility of overhangings which might lead to periodontal inflammation, and sometimes porosities can result due to moisture contamination or inadequate condensation. Finally, when planning any cavity modification, a simple decision algorithm can guide us. Is the occlusal surface intact? Then consider a box only or a slot preparation. Is the marginal ridge strong? Then a tunnel preparation may be possible. Or the wall short or flat. Add a secondary retention or a bonded amalgam restoration. If the lesion is deep, go for selective caries removal with a thin liner is best. Coming to the end of the discussion, modern modifications in amalgam cavity design are about being conservative, preserving the tooth structure, and tailoring the preparation to the lesion and the patient needs. So, thank you. Have a nice day.